In this video, we're going to show you how to install the upper control arm on your Explorer Interceptor located behind your rear wheels. With the vehicle raised and supported, we're going to go ahead and use a small pry bar to go ahead and pop off the center cap. Get behind the lip there, pry that out. I'm going to use a 19mm socket to go ahead and loosen and remove the lug nuts. Grab that wheel, remove it, and set it aside. We want to go ahead and remove our brake caliper and bracket as one unit. In order to do so, we're going to come around the back side here, and we will need to remove this bolt and this bolt here. We're going to use our deep socket. This is going to be a 15mm. And in most cases, you can get these loose enough where you can just spin them up by hand. If not, just use your ratchet or your gear wrench, whatever you want to go ahead, loosen and remove these completely. We're going to be reusing these bolts, so save those. Okay, to remove that bolt. And in most cases, you can slide this right off. And then just kind of tuck this in. And we're just going to set that over here, just like that. Now that we have a brake caliper and bracket pulled off, let's go ahead and follow the parking brake cable back here to this bracket here. It's a 10mm bolt. I'm going to loosen and remove this. On the top here, we have a bolt coming through. This here is a 15/16 nut, 21mm bolt head. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen and remove this nut. There we go. Now on the forward mounted bolt here, it's going to be 18mm socket we're using here. And the back nut, it actually has a capture clip on it. So as we loosen the bolt, you're going to see this clip spin back around and it's going to kind of stop itself from rotating. Here it is right here. I'm going to work that bolt out. Now right behind the coil spring, you're going to locate these two bolts right here. Now we're going to use our 18mm swivel socket to gain access with an extension. I'm going to come on the front side here. I want to loosen and remove this. Now that we have this one loose, we're going to go ahead and grab the back one. Now that we get that other bolt out, let's go ahead and get this one out. Go ahead and pull that bolt out. Now that we got those two bolts out of the block in the back section, we're back into the wheel well area here. We're going to go ahead and lift up our control arm and pull it up and out. Now that we have our control arm lifted up, the ABS wire itself goes into a bracket right on the bottom, just a U-shaped bracket. All you have to do is grab that wire and gently pull it down. It just goes into a little bracket. We're going to show you how to remove that bracket afterwards. But here it is right here. So we're going to use an 8mm socket to loosen and remove this bolt and just swap this over. It's just supporting that ABS wire while it hangs there. Just snug that. Now our control arm is ready for installation. I want to go ahead and put our control arm right inside this portion of the subframe. So go ahead, lower this down in a position. Slide that in. Now we went ahead and took our bolt and we ran these through our wire wheel machine and cleaned them up. We also applied a little bit of grease to these here just to help them get threaded into the nuts. I'm going to feed this up. I want to go ahead and get these bolts started in. Now these bolts are fixed, so we can go ahead and tighten these down right now. Let's go ahead and torque this down to 148 foot-pounds. Now from the top side here, let's go ahead and get the rear portion of our control arm in place. Use your pry bar. Go ahead and rock this up. Use it as leverage. Just kind of rock that, maneuver it around. Now when you install the nut, don't forget it has the J hook on it here. So that's going to go over the mount and then install the bolt, thread that in. Now this is a capture nut here, so when you go to tighten this, it's just going to spin over so far and then it's just going to lock itself in place while we tighten up the bolt. We're not going to do so yet. We now want to transition over to the knuckle side here. And once again, you can use a pry bar to go ahead and manipulate our suspension or our knuckle to kind of twist where we need it to. So I'm up on the front dog bone here. Twist this, pop that down into place. Another trick here, take a large screwdriver here. If you can get it inside, you can usually manipulate the knuckle here by using leverage. Now I have my socket on there with my ratchet, and you can actually just kind of twist that bolt a little bit, pop that up. I'm going to tap this in. See the bolt coming through the other side here. Give it a few light taps. Go ahead and get that nut started. Now we do want to go ahead and torque this and this upper bolt here. Now the thing is, when you do this, you have to make sure that the suspension is compressed to its neutral ride height. That means if you had the vehicle on its wheels on the ground and the suspension was fully compressed to where it was driving down the road, that is your neutral ride height. So what you can do is lower the vehicle down on the ground, use your jack underneath the knuckle and raise up the suspension just to the point where the car starts coming off of your jack stands. In our case, we're going to put a pole jack underneath and raise that to the point where we can raise up our vehicle and it just starts to come off of our lift just a tiny bit, and that'll give us our ride height. Let's go ahead and torque our upper bolt here from the knuckle to the upper control arm to 148 foot-pounds. I'm going to snug this down first. And then we want to torque it down to 111 foot-pounds. With that torqued, let's go ahead and install the bolt for the bracket. Now at this point here, you can go ahead and lower your jack and remove that from underneath the vehicle. And install the bolt for the bracket. And let's go ahead and snug that down. Don't forget to install your ABS wire onto the clip that we had transferred onto the control arm. Simply line that up, work that up and on. Let's go ahead and grab our brake caliper. I'm going to slide this up and over. Once we have that in its general place, let's go around the back side and get our bolt started. You might have to just grab that caliper and bracket and rock it back and forth to get that to line up. And once it does, that bolt will drop into place and then go ahead and thread that in. I'm going to go ahead and use my gear wrench, zip these right in quick. Now the swivel head gear wrench here works perfect for this, if you happen to have that. If not, a regular gear wrench or even a ratchet or regular wrench will work. Now you want to go ahead and torque these down to 111 foot-pounds. Grab your wheel, line it up on the studs, and get your lug nuts started. Want to make sure you get these on several threads. And when tightening these down, you want to make sure that you do it in a crisscross or star pattern. And just snug them down. Then you want to go ahead and torque down the lug nuts to 110 foot-pounds. When doing so, you want to do this in a crisscross pattern. After it's torqued, go ahead and grab that center cap, line it up, and pop it on. Now that you've installed your component, you want to go ahead and bring the vehicle down and get an alignment professionally performed on the vehicle. That's going to help prevent premature component wear as well as tire wear.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.